Hi, good evening on a very, very hot day. I had the privilege and the pleasure of meeting up with one of my seniors and an old a person who I used to report to, someone who I admired, someone who I looked up to. And it feels so great to keep in touch with people like that, I mean, very rarely do you connect with somebody throughout your career. And this gentleman was one of them. While I was talking to him, it took me back again to the days when I first started my career. And when I used to be a salesman those days. So this so-called salesman had an amazing experience, which I thought I must share. The best part is that you forget many things that have, either impacted you in a very positive manner or not so positive manner, and you kind of tend to bury it. But when you have meetings like this with people who you admire, and I'm meeting this gentleman after 10 years, but it was like as though we never parted, and we took the trail from where we left off. So when we were talking about training and people development, something that is a part and parcel of my life and is a part and parcel of my blood now, 35 plus years in that field. And so was the gentleman I was meeting, my boss, and now a friend, of course. So when it came, we were talking about training, and then I was transferred back to the first time that training was put in front of me. So I had this concept in my head that you get selected in your job, and they don't put you onto the job immediately. They send you out to some fancy place, maybe a resort or a hotel, and 1 week you spend learning about the product and the process, etc., etc. I was maha thrilled. I was really thrilled. But as usual, and something which I learned again about expectations, this is something which I'll take up later. But I went to my boss at that time and I said, "Sir, when do I start my training?" So he said, "Immediately." I said, "Excellent. Where do I go? Which hotel?" He said, What hotel? Which hotel? What are you talking about?" I said, "Don't I have to go for a week?" I was cooking up in my own head and I was kind of putting it into his mouth. So I had those stars in my eyes that, wow, training, 1 week, hotel, Aishwarya, that kind of stuff. But he said, "Yeah, training, yes, absolutely, because otherwise you can't go into the field. You must know your product, you must know the process, the whole lot." So he says, "I'm giving you 1 week, what you asked for, and you have to go walk down that corridor. You see the lady sitting at the far end?" I said, "Yes, sir. She's the secretary to the branch manager. And you see the machine over there? That's the machine you'll be selling. So go down there, ask her when she'll get free. And once she's free, which is after office hours, which is 5 o'clock, that's 1700 hours, you get onto the machine and learn." For a minute I thought I didn't hear things properly. I said, "Sir, I'm sorry, I didn't understand." He said, "My friend, right now the lady is busy with the general manager's work. She's like a steno, so she's busy typing reports or letters or whatever. Once it's over and the machine gets free, she leaves for the day, you will get onto it and you will learn." He opened the drawer, pulled out a book that thick. It was a user manual, gave it to me. He said, "In the meantime, you read this, cover to cover, page by page. Read it properly, and then in the evening when she leaves, you get onto the machine." I was stunned. At the same time, I got scared. And I said, "Who'll teach me?" He said, "What do you mean, who'll teach you? You're old enough to learn. Go and do it. I'm giving you 1 week that you asked. I'm going to take a test, and after that, whether you learned or not, I'm throwing you on the field." Oh boy. And at that point of time, I had no clue how to type. The laptops and all were far away. So I said, "Oh God." So anyway, I picked up the book and started reading. It looked like Greek and Latin to me, but then I kept browsing and it became a little more interesting. I anyway had this bent of mind for electronics and electrical things because I used to repair things in my own home. So I read through it. Then I went onto the machine after 5 o'clock and I started looking at the keys, and as you know, the typewriter and a computer keyboard is very different. It's not alphabetically put the way we think it's going to be put. So I started, tuk, 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 and I went on doing that. And after some time, I started getting better at it. Slowly, I started getting better at it. And then 1 week finished, and I was ready. He came, took my test, and I was ready. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that very often we are thrown with such challenges and we think we can't do it. No need to panic. The main thing is not to panic. Everybody has the first time for everything. Whether it's trying out new clothes, whether it's trying out a new car, whether it's changing your home, everything has a first time, a first attempt. But it's only if you go through that first attempt will you get the confidence and the know-how whether you can handle it or not handle it. Both are okay. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. You will get a result. The result can be good, the result will not so good. Both are good because through both you have learning. And that's what I understood at that point of time. After that, there was no looking back. Give me anything, even today, give me something new, happy to go through it, happy to learn. And that's the attitude that I created. To learn or try to learn as much as I could, and later on see whether it's my cup of tea or not. But go on that road for sure, and then see how it pans out for you. Think about it and definitely try.